I'd like to tag right on to the top of what Kelly just said a minute ago, though, before I get into that on price gouging. Certainly, water has been one of those products. We're also seeing it happening on eggs and meat, and those prices are up and they're not going to come down. The fake test kits, there have been so many questions about what has been happening with COVID and what scams we're seeing. And before I get into what I was going to talk about, that our latest figures from March 1st through September 15th of 2020, so it is the most current period since this pandemic started, is that in the Inland Empire, we have had what we classify as COVID-related scam reports. We've had about 50 of them. They are primarily on PPE products that have been damaged or not received at all, scammers attempting to sell fake test kits, tying right in with you, Kelly, and attempts to get consumer information. There's been very little money lost on the fake test kits and very little money lost on the consumer information. However, the average loss is $87 in the Inland Empire for PPE products not being delivered. And interestingly, most of the people who have been scammed out are women between the ages of 35 to 54. And the primary contact ways that they lose money are through the websites, social media, and email. So that's just a real quick high overview that has been touched on, and I can give more information if you'd like more. One of the things that I talked to Sandy about is the Inland Empire is a great repository for products coming in overseas. They're coming in through the Los Angeles harbors, being trucked into the Inland Empire and distributed from there in warehouse operations. 4 years ago, we started with scams on Sammy Dress and Dress Lily. Within 2 years, we had over 1,600 complaints on those companies, non-responded to manufacturers in China doing knockoffs of very fashionable items that all the people want to buy at 20 bucks, 30 bucks, those kinds of things. We know there are more scams than that, but because of low number, people didn't want to report them. We have one that has just started up in December 19th of this year, this last year. And it is a company it is actually in Malaysia and in Singapore with a distribution center in Chino. That's the return address. We currently have 6 complaints on them, 4 of which they've answered, 2 are unanswered complaints. And we have, let me quickly look here. We have 4 customer reviews, all of which are negative. And if people would go to bbb.org and put in this company, Rosque Jewelers, that's ROSCE Jewelers, you can look at the full report. They have an F rating with the BBB. You can read the consumer complaints. You can read the consumer reviews. And this is going to be another one of those that has, to me, has all the signs of growing up to be a total scam like Dress Lily and Sammy Dress. And, you know, being on this right now today is wonderful to disseminate the information. This is a potential one. They have threatened the BBB that if we don't remove the business profile we have on them, that we will be taken into litigation. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be sued on litigation, because that's what you cannot tell us at the BBB, that we can't publish information on a business. We have the right to do that. And we're going to continue to stand there and provide this information to the consumer public.